Alrighty, guys, we're going to give everybody a moment or two to get connected here. Apologize for it taking me so long to get everything up and running. I've never had to switch to the secondary microphone before, and when I switched to the secondary microphone, I got no audio. So that was interesting. Had to figure that out. So I apologize it took me so long, and of course, I've never had to do that in Windows 11 before. There was a question in the show, in the comments, where someone had said that a competitor of ours had said that you don't want to go to Windows 11 because a lot of stuff's not compatible with it. And a lot of software is not. And that's completely not true. I haven't seen a single program that is Windows 10 compatible but not Windows 11 compatible. Just not true. But the truth is, things are different in the way that the menus work and the settings. So when you're going deep into the microphone settings, there's a new setting that was like, everything said that my webcam microphone was the default for audio. And I'm like, well, that makes sense, right? I just happened to click on the drop down for that, and it said, also used for default for communications. Click. Thank you. Okay, now we're good. So then all of a sudden I had audio. So anyway, good morning, Ron. Mitch, good to have you. Mary, thanks for being here. Aaron's back. Cheryl and Rich are here. Coffee's on for Deborah. Schrockville's morning. That's right. Yeah, there's Ron. Do you accept old batteries for recycling? We sure do, Ron. We'll take, basically any computer-related anything. So if it's an old computer battery, cell phone battery, stuff like that, we do recycle those. We take them over to Sadov Recycling and drop them off there. Let's see. Come on, go away, little faces. I can't see anything. I was going to read a comment here, but then all these little faces popped up. There we go. We're back with you with coffee in hand. Thanks, Roger. Hey, Kathy is here, and Loanne. Well, people are checking in so fast I can't even click like. Good morning, Paul. Do you know anything about the rare earth mineral mine near Beatrice? I did a segment about that with the CEO of the company that runs that mine when I guest hosted on KFAB for an afternoon. It's a really, really high potential mine. Like it could transform the economy of Beatrice. It just takes a lot of time to get it off the ground and a lot of money. And the money is where they're falling short right now, the capital. And so literally they were telling us like what the stock ticker is. I think it's owned by a Canadian company. They were telling us what the Canadian stock ticker was so we could go buy their stock and run their stock price up so that they could get the capital they need to start extracting the elements from there. All righty, let's see. May everyone in Schrockville have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you, Mark. That's awesome. We could all use a good Thanksgiving this year, couldn't we? You know, it's going to be weird this year. All the grandpas in the family are gone, and so this will be a Thanksgiving that is completely grandpa free. I have never in my life cut a turkey before, and that was always the grandpas did. They cut the turkey, right? So I'm going to be watching some YouTube videos on how to cut a turkey so that I can actually cut the turkey on Thanksgiving and not just like butcher it up and hit it with knives until chunks of meat come off. That would be the backup plan. But there's going to be a lot of people this Thanksgiving that can look down and it'll be really easy to think about everything that's missing or everything that's not right or everything that hasn't gone like we would like. I'm going to try really hard to remain focused on being thankful for what we have, for what is here, for what we're doing and what we're getting right. Because you can get so bogged down in grief and in loss and, just you can wallow in it. You really can. I'm really good at doing that. I have to make a mental effort to not do that. And I've gotten good at that mental effort over time. Back in my early days, boy, if I got in a mood, you just didn't want to be around me. I was like a sponge that would just suck the energy out of the room and suck it into myself and then just waste it. Now I try to not be the guy that drains everybody's bucket, try to fill up people's buckets. But even I still have times when I'm like, I should probably go downstairs and be by myself right now because I'm not good company. Everybody's got those moments, I think. All right. Thanks for being here, Randy. Appreciate it. Any opinion on Logitech as to why their stock price is so low? I have no idea. I can't buy their products. The Logitech webcam that I have here is almost a decade old, and I'd love to replace it with a brand new HD one with no scratches on it or anything on the lens area. You can't see the scratches on the After Schrock, but I can see them looking at the camera. Can't buy them. They're just not available. I mentioned, it's kind of stupid, but I was like, hey, we got keyboards and mice. Woohoo! We really like the Logitech keyboards and mice. That's what we have been buying for years for all of the computers, what we carry in the service centers, for the holiday special, everything. Quantity limit of 3 keyboards per week right now. And I'm just telling you, we sell more than 3 keyboards a day just to people who want to buy keyboards, let alone new computers. So we've been raiding retail. Like sometimes here locally, stores will get them in stock, and even if the price is $3 or $4 more than what we would pay from our suppliers, what we grab the cart, load it up. They call Marissa at one store the crazy keyboard lady because she comes in and buys all the keyboards. Speakers, 2-piece speaker sets, quantity limit. Logitech ones are the ones we buy. Quantity limit 3 per week. Yeah. And those are for the USB powered ones. For some reason, the ones powered by regular AC power don't have a quantity limit, but the USB ones are so much more convenient because you don't have to run a plug down to the floor. But anyway, we get what we can get. But yeah, I don't know why their stock price is so low. If maybe it has something to do with the fact that, I have a Logitech, they have a great gaming line. I have a Logitech mouse for gaming. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that they can't produce product, or their products aren't very expensive, or they're just not moving. During COVID, you think they would have had a huge run up because everybody needed a webcam all of a sudden, but it's just me, I guess. Oh yeah, the Hot Wheels background. I forgot about that. Hold on a second. I think I can change that midstream here. So if you want to see what this place looks like without the background, there is no background. That's just the green screen behind me. And there is the Hot Wheels Challenge Accepted background. So my son Lou is 3, huge into Hot Wheels right now. We just did his room in Toy Story, and now he's like, I want a Hot Wheels room, and we're like, yeah, you can wait, kid. But basically so he watches the shows and says challenge accepted. Oh, I can give it to the Schrock logo here too. Like, there we go. So it says challenge accepted, and his games on his iPad and everything. And then he has a race. He has to build the track, and then he has to race the track. And he knows all the names of the cars. This is let me see. This is Roger Dodger right here, Roger Dodger. And then there's Rip Rod. And he's naming off all the cars, and he knows them when he sees them at the stores. He's like, that's Rip Rod. So it's really cute. So yesterday when I was trying to figure out all the green screen settings, I had this up on the screen, and, well, not this. I had the Schrock logos on the screen, and he was coming around and batting the screen and trying to figure out, like, when I hit the screen, it doesn't move there, but it moves here, and I don't understand why. And then, of course, he had some green in his shirt, and he was walking through the scene, and of course, it was, the background came through his shirt, and he was looking, he'd look down at his shirt, and he'd look at the screen, he'd look at his shirt. So I'm like, hey, let me do this. I challenge accepted graphic, and downloaded it and set it as the background. And literally, he looked like a weatherman. He was like, this car right here, this car is Roger Dodger. Roger Dodger, he's fast. I have Roger Dodger. It was great. He was like a weatherman. But so anyway, so now he made my wife promise that he could watch the After Schrock, and that I would put the Hot Wheels background up there. So, Aaron, thank you for reminding me about the Hot Wheels background. I'd have been in deep water if I wouldn't have done that. But we'll leave Hot Wheels up for now. All right, let's see. I received a message saying I could get Microsoft Office Online for free. It seemed to work a little different, like the spell checker. Your thoughts? All right, so Microsoft Office Online is not free. Microsoft has never given it away for free, and they never will. Well, I guess I shouldn't say never. Office 2010 Starter was one time they experimented. Like, if we give everybody Office free, like a limited version, maybe the ad-supported version was the original plan. Maybe they'll like it so much that they'll buy it. And the answer is no. They just used the regular version and installed an ad blocker to block the ads, the free version. So Microsoft stopped doing that and got rid of that with Windows Vista, or after Windows Vista, I should say. So my guess is you have some other program like LibreOffice or OpenOffice. We put LibreOffice with all of our new computers. It's a great program. It does everything Microsoft Office does. It's got a PowerPoint program. It's got a spreadsheet program. It's got a Word program, like a writing program. It's got a great spell checker. It has all the fonts. I mean, it literally does everything. It opens any document. You can have an old Lotus Notes document from the old Lotus Notes days, and it'll open it up. You can have a Microsoft Works document, and it'll open it up. So it's kind of neat. It's like a Rosetta Stone of word processors where it can open up anybody's stuff, which is kind of nice, including Word and Microsoft stuff. So my guess is you got something like that. I fell asleep for the last 10 minutes of the radio show, trying to stay alert till 9 a.m. Well, I don't blame you, Aaron. I was asleep for a little bit of the show, too. It was pretty. So I went to bed early-ish last night. I went to bed about 11, which is a little early for me. Excuse me, now I'm yawning. Oh, my goodness. Excuse me. And then I laid there for 47 minutes while I thought about things that I needed to do today. So then I woke up. I spent last night, I was like, I've got to get the green screen figured out. So I spent all this time figuring out the green screen, getting all the settings put back in. Woo, I'm done. My son says, hey, Dad, you want to play a video game? I said, okay, sure. I'm done with my work now. I can play it. So I put everything there. I get up this morning, and I'm standing in the shower, and I'm like, I didn't do any show prep last night. I don't have any stories lined up for today at all. I mean, I've got nothing. I'm like, I haven't done a show without show prep for years. Back in the day, I would walk in and just sit down and just diarrhea of the mouth, do whatever show came out of my mouth. Sometimes the shows were good. Sometimes they weren't. Sometimes they were better than others. Sometimes I'd forget important things like, oh, yeah, there was a sale launching today. Oops. Didn't talk about that. So, yeah, I did the entire... So I got up this morning. I gave myself an extra 10 minutes because I knew something was going to go wrong with the new laptop and the new setup. Everything, something was going to go wrong. I knew it. So I said, all right, I'm going to go ahead and give myself an extra 10 minutes. I got in here, and of course, audio problems, internet problems. About the only thing that worked was the green screen, and then I did my show prep really quick before the show. So I was like, yee. So yeah, I'm a little tired too this morning, Aaron. When I click on my notice for After Schrock, it went to your 7 a.m. show, backed out, and went in again and got to the... Oh, it's probably because it took me so long to get it started because I had a microphone problem because I wasn't familiar with the microphone settings for Windows 11 yet because this is the first radio show I've ever broadcast from a computer using Windows 11. Good to have you, Richard. Don't cut off your thumbs carving the turkey. Oh, yeah. That would be bad if I lost some digits cutting the turkey. I'm sure I'll be all right. No one wants my thumb in the turkey, like literally. That would be rough. Hey, Peoria. Visiting the grandkids, Roy. That's awesome. Are you aware your name is all over the bike trails at Walnut Creek? I'm actually not aware of that. Why is my name all over the bike trails? Did somebody spray paint it on the sidewalk or something? I didn't know that. I'll look into that. Thank you, Bill. Let's see. There we go. Great background. See, now people are joining the show late, and they're like, what's with the Hot Wheels background? Oh, let's see. Love it. Cool. He's waving at everyone. Oh, let's see here. Waving at Lou. Wait a minute. Waving at Lou. Okay, everyone's waving at Lou. I was like, did my wife share a picture or something? You don't seem old enough to know of Microsoft Works. I don't seem old enough to know of Microsoft Works. I'll have you know that when I'm playing a video game with my son and some little 12-year-old is in there and they hear my voice, I'm calling out where an enemy's at or something, and they hear my voice, they're like, dude, what are you, 30 or something? And I'm like, no, I can pretty much guarantee you, I will guarantee you I am not 30. Because I'm 45. So no, Microsoft Works was around. I had Works. I think I had Corel Office Writer at one point. I don't even know if that's still around. Corel Office, whatever. It was 7, I think, at the time. Back with Windows 98. They were giving it away on discs with all the DVDs and things. So all of our customers got free copies of Corel Office 7. It was great. So now it's LibreOffice because it's open source software. It's supported by a community of developers. It's really good software, and it gives you an alternative. You can still buy Microsoft Office, but the price of Office just keeps going up. Because, of course, they want you to buy the Office 365 subscription, which everybody wants you in a subscription, which I understand from a business perspective. I understand that that's the way the world is going to go right now. That's what Intuit's doing by getting rid of QuickBooks. That's where the car industry is honestly going. Imagine a world rather than making your car payment to an independent third party like a bank, what if you paid a monthly fee to use a Ford F-150? And if you got tired of the F-150, you could turn it back in and get a different car and pay a monthly fee for that one. And the monthly fee would be about the same as a car payment. It's kind of like leasing, right? Kind of like our computers as a service idea. It's very similar. So, I mean, the way the world is going is into payments and micropayments and things like that. The thing that kills the micropayments is the processing fees. It costs. That's why if you go to like a grocery store, if your charge is less than $1, they kind of grumble that you're using a credit card because they get charged 10 or 15 cents per transaction. Whereas if you're spending $1,000, they don't really care if you use the credit card. Then they're more concerned about the 1 point whatever or 2 point whatever percent they're losing of the sale. This is one of the areas where crypto is eventually going to be able to come in and transform this, because when we get to the point where Bitcoin is a great store of value cryptocurrency. It's almost like people have called it like a digital gold, where like if you want to park some money and have it grow and avoid inflation, Bitcoin is great for that. Then you have people saying there's Ethereum. Ethereum was going to be the transactional money. That was the money that we were going to use every day. That was the silver, if you will. Well, now with the NFT markets and everything, Ethereum has become a utility token. It's a coin that other projects use to power their software products that rely on secondary coins. For example, distributed finance. That's why you can go out and go to BlockFi and put thousands of dollars into stablecoin and deposit it there and get a 9% return on your money instead of putting it at the bank, because of distributed finance powered by the Ethereum network. But we still don't have the day-to-day transactional money that people could use to go to a grocery store and buy something. Dogecoin, people thought maybe Dogecoin would be that. Some people say SHIB coin is going to do that. They're just Ripple or Litecoin maybe, but we don't have that coin yet that everybody knows about, that has its own easy-to-use wallet that is widely accepted everywhere. When that happens, it has low transaction fees or no transaction fees. When that happens and that coin becomes popular, this is why Facebook wanted to launch their own cryptocurrency. They wanted to be the ones who controlled that currency. When that happens, you're going to see people ditching the credit card networks and taking crypto instead. In fact, Amazon in the UK, you may have seen this story this week, announced that very soon they are going to stop accepting Visa in the UK. Like, at all. You can't shop on Amazon with Visa. Why? Visa's charging too high fees. All the credit card companies raise what's called their gateway fee. So when you're a business, you sign on with a credit card merchant services provider, and then that merchant services provider hooks you into the gateway for the credit card companies. The credit card companies, Visa, MasterCard, Amex, they make a percentage of all the transactions on their network. They get a piece, right? That's called the gateway fee. And then the person that I'm working with, because I can't just go to the gateway, I have to work with somebody who has access to the gateway, they take a piece as well. So when you have all these people coming to you like, we can lower your credit card rates, they're saying that we're willing to take a smaller piece on top of the gateway, but there's nothing we can do about the gateway. The gateway is the gateway. Well, Amazon said there is something we can do about the gateway. We can just stop using the gateway. Now, I guess that means people will use MasterCard instead, and MasterCard has a gateway, or Amex, or anything else. But what happens if the only card you have is a Visa debit card? Or, ironically, an Amazon Visa card, an Amazon Prime Visa card. What happens if that's all you've got? Then you just can't do business with Amazon. You got to go buy a gift card and then use the gift card there. Obviously, this is pressuring Visa to lower their gateway fees for Amazon specifically. Who knows if it's going to work or not? Probably will, just depending on the volume of everything. But imagine they did that in the U.S. That would be nuts. I'm old enough to remember my dad typing DOS programs into the TRS-80. Yeah, I didn't type. I think I did a little bit of coding on my Commodore 64. No, I had a VIC-20, a Commodore VIC-20. Didn't have the 64. So if I'm in a subscription of 365 and I set up a new holiday special desktop, I don't need 365 anymore. All right, so Kathy, if you have a subscription to Office 365 and you get a new computer, you go to Microsoft.com, you log into your Microsoft account, and you click on software,
and then you install your Office 365 subscription on the new computer. You can move subscriptions from computer to computer once every 90 days, but you get one installation per subscription. Hope that makes sense. Let me know if it doesn't. Alrighty, let's see. WordPerfect was required by Office computers for Office 40 years ago. Yeah, WordPerfect. That WordPerfect was made by Corel. It was Corel WordPerfect. Intuit went to subscription for Quicken a couple years ago. Yeah, I tried to look that up because I was like, QuickBooks, yes, QuickBooks for businesses is going to be really impactful, but I think our audience would be more interested in what's happening with Quicken because that's the checkbook management stuff. And yeah, I found the same thing that they already did that. I'm like, okay. Can you update to 2.1H2? Oh, darn it, it jumped. Sorry. There's so many comments, I'm having trouble keeping up with them here. Alrighty. Thor, are you aware your name is all over trails? Okay, that was I've seen that one. There we go. Gosh, I missed some of these comments. I'm just realizing. All right, sorry. There we go. Oh, there it is. Lou says, "I love you, Daddy." Okay, I was like, why is everyone talking to Lou? I don't understand. Love you too, buddy. All right, Winston Jones. There we go. Yeah, he was wondering where his Hot Wheels background was. Libre did not allow me to use macros. Yeah, there might be some advanced functionality if you're using macros and stuff like that Libre does not support. The macros that you use in Excel will not work in the Libre sheets, for example. But if you're using something that advanced with the macro, you probably are going to want to use Excel anyway. All right. Can you spend a few minutes? Gosh, every time I scroll down, like my mouse pops over the like word, and then a row of faces pops up, and you literally can't get rid of the faces unless you hover over the word like again, then the faces go away. It's very frustrating. Can you spend a few minutes explaining what's happening with crypto? All right, so right now, Ronald, we've got a huge Bitcoin options expiry happening soon. What that means in English is a bunch of people have bet that the price of Bitcoin is going to be below $60,000 on a certain date. So by God, the price of Bitcoin is going to be below $60,000 by a certain date. I am expecting a slingshot rebound to around 70,000 pretty quickly once the expiry is done, because everyone's buying the dip. Everybody's buying this dip right now. Bitcoin, as Bitcoin goes, most of the market tends to follow because all of your other coins, with the exception of maybe Ethereum, are pretty much traded to get Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin price goes down, it tends to weigh the entire market down. If Bitcoin rallies, the market rides the coattails and rallies with it. Ethereum has been doing pretty well on its own. It's off its all-time highs. It's still doing very well, though. In fact, see, I don't know what the market is doing right this minute. I looked at it. I didn't look at it this morning because I was very much focused on getting everything ready for the radio show this morning. Bitcoin is at 58,800. Ethereum is at 4,310. Ethereum's all-time high was 4,867, so it's only $500 off its all-time high. Doge is down, SHIB is down. Everything is kind of middling along. The Bitcoin chart, basically, if I bring you let's go to the week view. You can see we're in this is called a trading range here. So you can see that it dropped. There's a couple big drops, and now we're within a drop. So we have a top and a bottom in the V, and we're going to stay between those lines until the expiry is done. I think it's next week. What could change that? Pretty much just retail investors right now, because all of your big money investors are going to make their money on the futures expiring, and then they're going to take that money and they're going to buy Bitcoin at a cheap price and push the price up. Because Bitcoin's price naturally by the end of the month is supposed to be close to $90,000 according to Plan B. That's where they believe the availability of Bitcoin, the scarcity of Bitcoin would set the price in the stock to flow model. So they've been right the last 3 months. They've been right historically. If you logarithmically plot their predictions, they have been consistently right. Of course, some months they're not, and some months it's way higher. So some months they're wrong, but it trends out to be correct. So it may not be 90,000 at the end of the month. It may be 82, 85, who knows? But the trend line is the trend line. We're looking at $100,000 Bitcoin potentially by the end of the year, which means right now, if you just had 60 grand sitting around in the couch cushions and you bought one Bitcoin, at the end of the year, you could have $40,000 of profit. And all of the taxes to go with it. Woohoo! I was complaining about taxes to somebody at one point. We were talking to a financial planner, and he said, never, ever, ever make a financial decision based on the tax implications. I'm like, what? He goes, if you're going to do something that makes you money, make the money. The taxes come later, and you're never going to get taxed all the money you made. I don't know that he's ever done crypto tax returns, because that can happen to you if you're not careful. Oh, let's see here. All right. Maybe someone at Walnut Creek is a Marvel fan? Oh, my name. I thought you meant the Schrock Innovations name. I didn't. That makes more sense. I guess if it was somebody writing Thor all over everything. But it wasn't me. Wasn't me? I didn't. No ink on my hands. Didn't do it. All right. Thank you, Ronald. Let's see. The group that builds and maintains the trails is called Trails Have Our Respect. You can figure it out from there. The acronym. Got it. Word perfect, yeah. Can you update to 2.1H2 if you are not Windows 11 capable? Oh, yeah, you have to. That's the thing. 2.1H2 is for Windows 10 right now. This is the Windows 10 2.1H2 update. And the fact that they took Windows 10 to annual updates makes so much more sense now. Because we were saying this is going to be so confusing because there's going to be a 2.2H1 and a 2.2H2, but Windows 11 is going to have a 2.2H2. So you can have two 2.2H2s. It's going to get super confusing. Well, now you're just going to have one update for both computers, preferably at the same time, I'm hoping, that gets it all updated to the current versions. That would be a really easy way to handle it. All right. Let's see here. Wow, these comments. I don't know what's going on with my comment train is jumping around. Like I'm seeing comments that I didn't see before, and I'm seeing repeats of comments that I've seen already. The computer I used to get through graduate school is now on display in the Science Museum of Paris. Well, I had no idea you went to graduate school in Paris. That's funny, the Commodore 64. Alrighty. There's a problem with the feed. It's stuttering. It could be the Wi-Fi connection in here, or it could be Facebook. I'm not sure which. I'm not dropping any frames, which is really great because one of the things when I was doing the research to get the green screen set up again, there was a warning on the tutorial that said, warning, chroma key is extremely processor intensive. And I always wondered, my little i7, it was a 7th gen i7 laptop, it would get so hot during the radio shows. And I'm like, what is it? I mean, what's it doing, right? I mean, I'm just broadcasting. The holiday special laptop is what I'm using right now. And it's not even, the fan is running slowly, but it's not even warm to the touch. I mean, it's just slaying this. I guess that's what 36 gigs of RAM and a 10th gen i7 does for you. But that's how much, if you have like a 3 generation old computer, or a 4 generation old computer, you have an i7 that is 7th generation, upgrading to 3 generations to a holiday special is like a 70% performance improvement. It's insane how far the chips have come over a period of time. If you don't upgrade every year or every 2 years, you get a massive increase in power is what I'm experiencing right now. I don't think Amazon is allowed to come out with their own credit card, Ronald. Ronald asked, will Amazon come out with their own true credit card that's not MasterCard or Visa? I don't think they can because they're not a bank and they're not regulated like a bank. So I'm not sure they can do that. I remember back in the day, Walmart had a credit card through a partner, and they're doing all the MoneyGram stuff and everything. They're basically cash and checks. They're doing everything you do at a bank. They wanted to become a bank. They wanted a Walmart bank. And the banking industry said, no, we're not going to let you be a bank. So I don't think Amazon is allowed to do that on their own. I think they have to have a partner that's a bank. The oldest computer that I've received for recycling? Oh, maybe like a 33 megahertz IBM, like with the 5.25 inch floppy drives and the green monochrome screen. The guys in the service center didn't even know how to turn it on. Like there was a physical, like a flip physical switch. It was like click. They were like looking at the monitor and stuff. It was kind of funny. But yeah, and I tried to get it to work, but all the discs were all degraded. So I could get it into DOS, but I couldn't get any of the games to work. I was like, oh, well, I'm going to play chess. But the disc was like, error, cannot read it, because it had degraded over time. I buy an annual subscription to 365 through Office BX. It allows 5 devices users and 1 terabyte of OneDrive. Yeah, you can get the multi-user 365 as well. They do have multi-user options, but the cheap one, the one that most people usually look at, is the single-user one because it's cheap. Now, because you're buying on the BX, for those of you who don't have military family, this is like basically like the department store on Offutt Air Force Base. If you're retired military, you can go on the base with your base ID and you can shop at the BX. Where some things are a lot cheaper, some things aren't, but you can save some money there, especially on software and stuff, because that's where the Microsoft has military editions of their software where they're deeply discounted. You used to be able to buy like Office at the BX for $25. I can guarantee you that no one's buying Office for $25 outside of the Air Force Base. All right, since there are problems getting cases for laptops, can you install the new components in my existing case? I think you meant desktops, but it's possible we can. Now, here's the problem. Most of the older cases don't have forward-facing USB 3 ports. And all the motherboards have receivers for USB 3 ports. So the USB 2, there's receivers for USB 2 ports as well, but not as many as there used to be because not as many USB 2.0 devices. So one of the side things we've had to do for the new cases is the new case comes with one USB 3 port, one USB 2 port. So now I've got 2 connectors, plug in the USB 3, plug in the USB 2, and then the card reader uses an internal USB 2 connector. So now I got that, okay? And then the Wi-Fi has a Bluetooth chipset in it. It's Wi-Fi 6, which requires a USB 2 connector. I don't have any. So now we've had to order in splitters that allow us to split the internal USB 2. Basically, it's an internal USB hub that allows us to split those connections. So there's a lot of logistics that go into fitting it in. But, I mean, if you have a case that you love, we've done that for people before. We've had people bring in Alienware cases. Like, can you build my new computer in this Alienware case? Like, I think so. And, we have to rewire some things and, cut some plugs and splice some wires to get the front lights to work right and everything. But a lot of times we're able to do it. But we've got the cases now. Cases aren't a problem anymore. I got enough cases to go through the end of the year, I think. The problem now is going to be making sure that we've got all of the, let me see, I got Windows 10 licenses coming. We're going to need to order more Wi-Fi cards. Thought I had enough to get through the end of the year, but we're selling so many computers, guys. I don't think you appreciate how more expensive computers have gotten, which is crazy because normally computers get per megahertz get 7 to 14% cheaper every year. So in other words, we have to keep giving you guys more in every computer that we build to maintain the price. So the price doesn't drop, but you get a more powerful computer every year. Last year we added the Wi-Fi 6, so you had Bluetooth. That was really important for the pandemic. Everybody had wireless headphones and things and microphones. We kept the DVD drives. We didn't get rid of those. We have card readers in all the computers, and every component in our computer is a separate component, which is what makes them modular and makes them upgradable and also makes them a supply chain nightmare. Because I think I have enough power supplies for the end of the year. I ordered a bunch. Like we started ordering things in like hundreds of units quantity to make sure we had enough for the end of the year. But now we're selling so many more computers because we're the only ones that haven't raised our prices. And that's a good thing. We're getting a lot of new customers that maybe would have gone somewhere else. Maybe they would have gone to Best Buy or a box store. They get to experience what it's like to come to us. Most people take their computers back to where they bought them when they have an issue. So that is good for future seating, future repair business or warranty business. When we have customers who come in periodically for maintenance checks, that's opportunities to make sure their computers are safe and secure, which prevents them from getting infected with things. So there's a lot of great reasons why selling computers is good. Your business, what was I say? If you want to start a computer repair shop, selling computers is about the least profitable thing you can do. new, used, or otherwise. It is a money suck. They take time to build. They take time to sell. They have inordinate levels of support on the warranty period. Customers need to learn how to use them. There's no manuals anymore, so you have to help customers use them. The reason that you want to sell computers is not because you're making money on the computers. That's why we do the holiday special and we do it at cost. The reason that you sell computers is to sow future customers, to gain relationships for future business. That's why we sell computers. So selling a lot of computers right now is kind of like, it's stressful, but 3 years from now, we're going to have an influx of customers who are coming back to us for additional business over that 3-year period because they bought the computer from us. And that gives us opportunities to sell hours of labor or antivirus subscriptions or things that we would normally have a higher margin on that we can use to sustain the business. So it's really a long-term relationship game when you're selling computers. And that's why a lot of shops want to sell used computers because they can try to make a quick buck on them, and they have short warranty periods. They're not interested in the long-term relationship. They want that short hit. Windows 11 has nixed most of the used computers out of the market now, though, because they won't run Windows 11. So then you have shops saying things like, you don't want to go to Windows 11 anyway because most of the software that's out there today is just, it's not compatible. It won't work. And you don't know if a program that you need is not going to work. So I would suggest you stay on Windows 10 for now. It's supported until 2025. This model that I've got right here runs Windows 10 beautifully. It's got like a 5th generation i7 processor in it. Totally not Windows 11 compatible. So you don't even have to worry about Windows 11 getting stealthily installed on your computer and having to worry about your programs being compatible. Complete crock of horse hockey. Anything that's compatible with 10 from a software perspective is compatible with 11. I haven't seen a single program that's not compatible. They want to sell the used computers still. They want to make the money. They don't want to change the model. So guess what? Windows 11 comes out, and we find out at Schrock, oh my gosh, they have made the hardware restrictions so restrictive that half the computers that we're currently selling on the floor right now are not Windows 11 compatible. Why in the would Microsoft do that? Well, we know why, but oh my gosh, this is going to be such a nightmare. So immediately we changed our entire product line. The Boundless went from an A6 processor to an Intel Celeron. Much more expensive to build. Intel chips are stupid because we have to buy a different motherboard, we got to use a different chip. You can't go from a Boundless to an Endeavor now with a direct upgrade. It's frustrating. The Endeavor, we were using 2nd gen Ryzen 3 chips because we could get them and they were not mind-bogglingly expensive. Well, guess what? We're just going to have to suck it up and pay for the 3rd gen chips because that's what it needs to be Windows 11 compatible. Great. Same thing on the Ryzen 5 chips. We're looking at possibly changing it again. So the holiday special comes with the 5700G Ryzen 7 processor. So it's a Ryzen 7 chip, but it has integrated graphics on the die, on the chip. And the problem that we're having right now is getting any graphics cards. Like right now, if you bought a Venture, you're getting a GT 710 graphics card. That's a DDR3 graphics card from 10 years ago. The reason that we put them in the holidays or in the Venture is multi-monitor support. That's the only reason we put them in there. You want to run 3 monitors, you need that card. Well, fun fact, Ventures, a lot of people buy Ventures because they have a dedicated graphics card. It's the only model in our lineup that has a dedicated graphics card. So people buy that because it has the card. They think they need that dedicated card for whatever they're doing. I do a lot of pictures. It has nothing to do with your graphics card. I do a lot of video. It has nothing to do with your graphics card. I do 3D rendering. That has something to do with your graphics card. But that's never the reason why people want to buy it. So now AMD has just released a Ryzen 5 5600G card. So it's got integrated graphics on the chip. So if we can pull the graphics card that we're currently putting in the Venture out, it'll save us about, I don't know, $100 per build. And the Ryzen 5G chip is 3 times faster than the 3rd gen Ryzen 5 chip we're using now, because it's 5th generation. And we don't have to buy the graphics card, and the chip costs $20 more. Because the 3rd gen Ryzen chips right now are so expensive because everybody is moving up to 3rd gen to get Windows 11 compatible. So I literally had a meeting with Corby last week, and I said, I know a lot of people buy the Venture because it has a dedicated graphics card. I don't want to kill our Venture sales, but you and I both know the graphics card that's going into the Venture isn't winning any graphics processing awards. It's literally giving you multiple monitor support, and that's about it. It's a workstation graphics card. The Ryzen 5700G graphics are actually better than what you're getting on that dedicated card. And it offers you multiple monitor support at 2 monitors, not 3. So a third monitor would still require us to add a graphics card, but how many people are we selling computers to that are running 3 monitors? Maybe some are at home, maybe some aren't. But if they're running a third monitor, why don't we just add the graphics card as an upgrade? But this will allow us to eliminate $100 in cost from the computer, which will prevent us from having to raise the price of the Venture, because the Venture has more components that go into it than any other computer. It'll make the Venture twice as fast as it is now. I mean, this sounds like a win all around, unless you're worried about losing that graphics card. I think we're going to lose some sales because it doesn't have the graphics card. But those are the kind of backflips and compromises and decisions that we're having to make. We used to have an RX 554 gig card in there. Then we dropped to a GT 730 because that's all we could get. Now we're down to a GT 710 because that's all we can get. We can't go any lower than a GT 710. Literally, we can't. It's not Windows 10 compatible, which means it's not Windows 11 compatible. Got to do something. So I think we got a solution for that problem, but it's been a supply chain kind of Christmas, let me tell you what. So we could use your case, I suppose, if you wanted us to. I hate the Facebook pop-up things. The faces pop up when you don't want them to. Yeah, I've had that problem here too. Alrighty. So we are, gosh, how far are we into this here? I'm going to have to wrap it up here pretty quick. Yeah, 41 minutes in. It felt like about half an hour. So last call for questions, guys. Anybody have questions about anything going on? Questions about the holiday special? Like I said, the desktops, if you're thinking about a holiday special desktop, I would encourage you to place an order and get in the delivery queue. We've got about 7 units that are rolling off of Papillion's assembly line, if you will, by the end of the day today. And then we're waiting on chips. And at that point, we can produce 5 a week. Literally 5 a week. Maybe 10 if I push the definition of a week to include a weekend and try to push our suppliers. But that's buying 5 chips from 2 different suppliers. Sorry, that came out wrong. I get a total of 5 chips per week after shopping 2 different suppliers. They're in that much of a shortage. So I would encourage you for your holiday special desktop, especially if you want delivery before Christmas, that you get your order placed as quickly as possible so that we can get that built for you. Holiday special laptops, you got a little bit of wiggle room. I can still order them in quantities of 10, and I'm doing about 20 a week right now. So we're going to get to 150 pretty quick here at the pace we're going. But that's why when you look at the website, there's never more than 10 in stock, because when we start running down, we get another shipment in, and I can replenish the service centers. The holiday special desktops have been a little bit more difficult to replenish because of the number of parts involved. Also, the shops are low on Endeavors, they're low on Ventures, and they're low on Boundlesses. Oh, no, wait, Boundlesses are good now. We got some Boundless parts in. And we got cases. So now we're just waiting on our Ryzen 3 chips to come in, which we should get those. If we didn't get them yesterday, we should get them on Monday. And then we can build more Endeavors and get the stores back stocked up again on those. But as soon as we get them all stocked up, they're sold again. And I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining a bit. But we're sowing future business. I love it when I see Des Moines. Every computer that goes out the door in Des Moines is a future customer that's going to come back for years. And it's so cool to see a newer service center building that customer base and doing it just like we did in the old days. I mean, we can put commercials on TV. We can put Facebook ads up. We can do all the advertising in the world. But you still have to build the business one customer at a time. And that's what Ryan's doing for us in Des Moines. Just amazing work he's doing there. So anyway, with all that said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you need anything throughout the week, obviously we have all 4 locations. They're all open 10 to 8. Well, I guess I should say Des Moines has some funky hours because we're short-staffed there. But the other 3 are open 10 to 8, Monday through Saturday, Sunday from noon to 5. Des Moines is closed today on Sunday. They are open until 6 every other day of the week. So definitely get in, get your stuff either fixed, upgraded, done, whatever you're looking to do. Everything is taking a little bit longer from a parts perspective. So if there's something that's been nagging you, like a battery, something like that, get a hold of us and let's get that taken care of sooner rather than later, because it's not going to get any better next year, I don't think. Although, I will throw out one caveat. If tightening happens, if the Fed stops printing money, and they do it quickly to deal with inflation, which I think they're going to have to deal with inflation quickly if they want to have a chance for Democrats in the midterm elections. So there's a lot of pressure on the Federal Reserve Chair to do something quickly, and that's why they may fire Powell, and they may blame the inflation on him, like his policies caused this inflation, and then bring in someone new to clean up the mess, and that new person may clean it up or may make it worse. Who knows what's going to happen. But if there is tightening, which there should be, the Fed should stop printing any money at all. They should stop all market support. And of course that would lead to a recession. But we need a recession because everything is fake right now. Everything is fake. It's like you're printing tons of money every month, billions of dollars every day, every week. Like, it's fake. If they get someone who does that, and then all those 111 ships off the coast of California get unloaded, and all those goods hit the market, suddenly you will have too few dollars chasing too many goods, which is the opposite of inflation. That means businesses will cut prices to sell product faster. They'll coupon, they'll discount, which means they'll have less profits, which means they will cut wages, which means, or they will introduce more automation, which means that you will have a deflationary impact. So prices could come back down just in time for the election if they time everything right and they taper hardcore. Watch for a hardcore taper. If that happens, you know there's a midterm play going on. All right, there you go, guys. I think I've covered it all. We'll talk to you all again next weekend. Thanks for sticking with us, and thanks for being Schrock customers. I appreciate it. Have a great day.